guys, I'm Josie Walton and I recently earned my black belt, which is exciting. I'm making these videos for my cousin to show him how to do the basics of karate because that's something he's interested in, but I also know that with everybody going a little bit stir crazy right now with the quarantine and the virus and everything, the more the merrier, right? So I'm gonna start off with the very basics of karate. And first off, I'm going to talk about the stance, specifically in this video. And I know that's probably not what you were hoping for, but when it really boils down to it, the difference between different fighting systems is the stance and the philosophy. Because most of the punches and kicks are cycled, which makes sense, because how many ways are there to punch someone? Or how many effective ways are there to punch someone? Plenty, but if every fighting system has like one, then that barely covers every fighting system. And there might be a few unique to a couple of fighting systems or so, but for the most part we're using the same punches and kicks, and the way we use them, or how we combine them, or the pacing of the strikes is the real difference between each fighting system. For karate, and especially the karate I learned, the goal is to stay grounded, which on your feet, and to not take it down to the ground, because bones are much more easily broken on the ground in a wrestling match than in a standard fist fight, just because there's a lot more leverage and weight being thrown around. So for the most part, try and stay on your feet. It's the fastest way to end a fight because it's the fastest way to get out of the situation. The stance that I was taught to start with was feet in an L-shaped position, most of your weight on the back leg, and this will get tiring after a while. Make sure to have your knee bent so that you can move a little more easily. Most of your weight should be on your back leg, so that if you need to pick it up, if someone's going for a leg sweep, which is a bad idea by the way, it's not a problem. And then also, so that you can kick a lot more quickly, you don't have to shift all your weight back, and you're not leaning forward, and that much easier to punch. You shouldn't have all of your weight on your back leg, but just enough of it so that you can pull your leg up quickly. A good way to know how much is to practice pulling your leg up. Other than that, try and keep them shoulder width distance apart so that you're not too far out and it's not really hard to kick or dodge at all. And try not to have them too close together because it's really easy to push someone over when they're like that. So feet to shoulder width distance apart, whatever is comfortable, and then whatever is very sturdy because you don't want to go down to the ground. Keep your knees bent, also because it's very easy to take a hit to the knee, and if they're locked, it's very easy to get your knees broken that way. You probably can't see my legs because they're dark, but I have my knees bent, and you can probably see your legs. Again, that's gonna get tiring after a while, but it's worth it. For your hands, try and keep them as far away as is practical and comfortable. They're gonna start coming back as you do punches. If you just remember to pull them up a little further away, that's basically how you solve that. You want to keep them out so that you have more time to stop a punch or whatever, so that you have less of a likelihood of getting hit, because that's not really something that's incredibly fun. You want to keep your hands open at least before the fight starts. Once it starts, you can stop squaring up and you can just have your hands in fists. At that point, you should bring one hand up to guard your head, and the other hand should be about at eye level, so that you can see an attack coming, and so that you can have it at a very convenient level to hit. But before a fight, you don't want the fight to happen. And if you can stop it before it starts, that's amazing. Try and look like you don't know what you're doing. Even if you do. Especially if you do. If you don't know what you're doing, and you try and convince them you don't know what you're doing, you're either going to scare them off or you're going to get yourself hurt worse. But if you do know what you're doing and you go around boasting about it, you're probably going to get yourself hurt. It doesn't make sense to act like you know what you're doing if you know what you're doing, because the odds don't help you. If you can stop a fight by calming the other person down, that's good. If they want money, just give it to them. If they're going to hurt you, you have to fight back. But the sooner you can get out of a situation, the better. Because if the fight gets out of hand and you wind up seriously injuring or killing the other person, that'll be on your conscience. But if you don't, they will hurt you. Remove yourself from the situation just as fast as humanly possible and do what you have to do before then. In the next video, I'm going to talk about blocks to keep yourself from getting hit. And yeah, that's basically it.